Hey guys, so another style class here for you. So we talk about creating tension and friction in our outfits, and how are we doing that? So one of the ways is interesting texture mixing, and also with interesting color mixing. So one of our big trend colors for this fall, and you're gonna see it next spring as well, is this bright poppy red. What are we putting this red with? Are we going with black, with white, gray? Those just aren't very interesting, and you're just gonna feel a bit like a checkerboard. So let's add richness to this pop. And I'm gonna suggest we go with like a deep mulberry. And this is a really big trend color too. I think that's a really interesting mix. Or we bring in our camel tones to really soften and bring in an earthy vibe to that. And then like a blue denim underneath would be so well balanced and beautiful. And then talking texture, we're gonna be combining, so this is a chenille. So talk about 90s coming back. I love it. It's so soft and it's just like something new and different than wool. So it is very textured. Goes this way. And then our pant, this is a coated denim. So you can see it has a sheen, it has a coating, and it's stretchy and very sleek. So with the sleek, we want a little boxier, a little more volume and texture. So I absolutely love chocolate brown with this red, and of course these two mixes of texture, which you can see in the light. I think that's a slam dunk. What we want to avoid with these shiny babes here is more shine. So sometimes we're like, oh, because it's on the rack together, we think, oh yeah, let's put that together. No, too much shine and it's all one noted and the same texture, and it is not going to seem very elevated or very informed. What would we do with this is look for those nubbly textures, look for those hairy textures, and that's going to be that stunning contrast. It's like in home decor when you see that marble coffee table and it's beside like a mohair chair, and there's just that that like, yeah, that yumminess in that combo, the tension and the mix. So one of my favorite pieces, you saw me wear it at the fashion show, is this chocolate brown silk skirt. I featured it in other videos as well. With that, we want to put a hairy knit, especially something a little bit see-through, since this is so opaque but reflective of light. This is sheer, it's going to show your shape underneath, but it's going to absorb light. It's going to be hairy and matte finish. So we want to think about the finish, the feel and the weight, and that those gutsy fabrics mixed with those airy light fabrics for that contrast. Coming into holiday, yes, we are seeing some sparkle. I'm hoping you can see that sparkle. This is like such a cool pant. We had this earlier in fall in a plaid, and it was one of our best-selling pants. So flattering, wide leg, full length, lightweight, and just the drape is awesome. This now has a studding, which has a bit of sparkle. So it's not diamonds, but it's just like a little silver stud. We are putting that with a white t-shirt, maybe a white poplin oversized shirt with a bit of like tuxedo details. We are not putting this with a sparkly top. No. Sparkle on sparkle, or even the silver top. I know that's like tempting to pair that, but we're looking for its counterpart to make sense. So I love that. I love that with a gray sweater over the shoulders, maybe even a red sweater over the shoulders just to add some contrast, maybe a Kelly green sweater. So really play with some color here, and especially if you're gonna bring in like your Samba sneaker or something more sporty, I think that's a great place to add that contradiction. When we're dealing with satiny pants, again, temptation is to go with a shiny top, a blouse, something very frilly and elevated. Now heading into a more dressed up season, I'm gonna allow that a little more. So I'm okay with this. That is kind of all the way though, so it's quite dressy, especially if you did a heel. It is going to be very dressed up head to toe. What I prefer is that nubbly texture again, or that hairy knit, I think would be beautiful with the satin. What I love with this sequin sweater, which this is like taking your fundamental and just adding a boost. So it's a crew neck sweater with the really interesting sequins. I think it's so cool with that Awear jogger we have over there with the pin tuck bottom. That would be so much fun, and with a sneaker, maybe a puffy vest even. But this is a beautiful, very dry hand matte finish dress pant, super wide leg, high waist, sits very smooth to the body, very flattering. And then we can put that shiny crew neck with it. And to me, that's a really yummy contrast. So when you pick things out in your closet, you're gonna look at the texture, at the color mix, and see, is this a matte finish? What is this doing mood-wise? And how can we bring a little bit of contrast to that piece to make it more interesting, to feel like ourselves, and to feel a little boosted and a little more stylish. So lastly, I'll just comment on my outfit here, which is this quite dressed up organza fabric in the pleated. I've done a crop top underneath, just have a little sheer sexiness, but then brought that like sporty, boyish, edgy vibe with the vest, and then done this low slung, wide leg, dialed up jean, which goes all the way to the ground. And then I've done kind of a cool wedge boot with it, just to add that refinement on the bottom again. A little bit of jewelry, and that's my look. Have a great fall. Incorporate these trends, these mixes, to get that interesting vibe out of your closet.